Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cologne podcast.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Ryan.
We're two best friends. We're going on a fragrance journey, smelling fragrances sent to us by Patreons and giving you uneducated opinions.
Today, oh my God.
It's a big day for Ryan.
I am fucking pumped because I've been too broke to buy it and I've been really honey on it. And that is Red Tobacco Intense by Mancera. Sent to us by Michael J.
Michael J.
Who, if you guys have been paying attention, Michael J. just won a brand new sealed bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Of Dior Sauvage Eau Forte. And it came with other Sauvage samples and a fucking toiletry bag.
Yeah, it's a nice bag. Thought about keeping it, but didn't.
And also our honorable mention, our runner-up in the giveaway was Bob.
Yeah, and he got some fun stuff.
He got some fun stuff. He actually got him a juicy bottle as well, but it was a 4711.
What we're basically saying is be a Patreon. It doesn't cost very much, and you get so much in return.
You get us.
Yeah. Okay, today's Red Tobacco Intense, I've got a review, and it looks like somebody left 2 reviews on Fragrantica for this.
Okay.
I may combine the 2, but it's from Vujki PVP 2001. Copy paste of the original with less projection, same longevity.
Okay.
Then comes back to say, after testing it, it smells more floral and musky than the original, smoother dried down, intimate projection.
Intimate projection, huh? So it's like saying, is that his nice way of saying it's a skin scent?
Yeah, it's closer to the body, which would make sense if they up the fragrance oil.
But do you feel like that verbiage is kind of misused in this industry?
Say what?
Intense.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Because I think the normal plebeian, we're plebs in this.
Yeah.
You tell me intense, I'm thinking it's going to be more kick-ass, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if...
A little bit louder.
Yeah, at least louder. I don't know, you'd say it's more kick-ass. So, for example, say I go to a delicious Mexican restaurant that we like to go to, and then they have the normal Chipotle rub, and then they have the Diabla, which is hotter, which I would assume would be more intense. But for me, I like the balance of the heat and the smokiness of the Chipotle. I don't want to go more intense.
I'm a simple man. If it says bigger and better,
more is always better for you. Yeah. No matter what, more is always better. I don't know if I agree, but we're going to find out, by golly.
Before we do, though, we need to get into our one-night stand review of the fresh new fragrance, Dior Sauvage Eau Forte.
Hit that music, Todd.
Yeah. One night stand review.
Well, Mike, after laying in bed with Dior
and Johnny Depp
and Mason Francis Kirchon, because he's now the
creative director.
Yeah, the creative director. We've smelled it. We even bought it and sent it out to a Patreon. What do you have to say about Eau Forte?
Ooh, I think I'm going to tease the audience because I'm going to take a little segue ride away from it, and then I'm going to come back.
Okay.
So I have a friend she smelled Baccarat Rouge on somebody.
Okay.
But she's never been able to smell it, so she's tried colognes. She's bought Ariana Grande's Cloud. She's been wearing that for forever. And she's out on a trip, and she texted me, and she goes, I finally got to smell Baccarat Rouge. Not impressed.
Really?
Yeah. But she was obsessed with it, the way it smelled on that person. But when she smelled it herself, it wasn't the same.
Okay.
Thought that was interesting.
Does it tie to what you want to say about?
Yeah, it just has to do with MFK.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, now we're getting back to Eau Forte. Okay. And I liked it. I was shocked at how much I liked it.
I'm with you. I am shocked. And I think, though, for the masses that really do like the original Sauvage, hear this message with caution, because we, if you've listened to this show for the past 3 years, are not big Sauvage fans.
No.
So I feel like that's why we like this one so much, because it's so not like Sauvage.
It's almost like what an EDT version of the Elixir would be, because the Elixir is not like Sauvage the way that you know it, the EDT, EDP, even the Parfum. The Elixir did something different. It was spicier. It was a little bit more masculine.
Yeah.
Had a little bit more attitude. And this does too, but it's calmed down, which is more in my territory.
Yeah, for sure.
So for that reason, I did really enjoy it. I felt like the longevity surprised me for being a water-based fragrance. Now, it didn't blow my mind.
No.
But it hung on a little longer than I expected it to. But it's about average of what an EDT, I think, would do.
Yeah, and I would honestly say, if you like the other versions of Sauvage, you'd probably say those are a little bit louder than this one.
Yeah, because that dry down on that, which is something I hate about Sauvage.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it's the Ambroxan. I have no way of knowing because we're idiots.
Mm-hmm. I'm dumb.
But that powdery, smothering effect that Sauvage has, I absolutely hate that part of it.
Yeah.
And this doesn't have that. So I like it.
I do too. Now, does that mean it's a buy for me?
No. Luna Rosa Carbon.
Yeah, Luna Rosa Carbon. Cheaper too.
Yeah, and to me, better. It's minus all the things that I don't like about Sauvage. It's still masculine, still clean. This is a great fragrance, and if you want something fun for the summer that's going to be lighter than your typical Sauvage, a little bit more masculine, and it's water-based, that's cool. Give it a try. Go ask for a sample. Don't blind buy this.
Yeah, go to your local, whatever you got,
Department
Dillard's, Mates. Yeah, go there and just get you a sample of it, smell it, let them, they're going to have a bottle there. Just lace yourself up. Don't wear anything that day and go lace yourself up and go test it out. I will say it is honestly shockingly good compared to what I've smelled from the previous versions of it. I do like the direction of it, the way they did the scent profile.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a sample for me, not a buy.
Agreed.
All right, there you go. Now, the moment I've been waiting for, not you guys, me, is Red Tobacco Intense. Let's do it. Do
the honors.
Look, guys, let me give you a little character development story here real quick with this. When I first, by the way, because we're trying to open this and do it at the same time, Michael, you did a great wrap job on these. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get these open, but he sent both of us, 5 mil a piece or 3?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Michael J., for doing that. We really do appreciate it. But when we smelled the original Red Tobacco, which the episode's up, you guys can go listen to it. Mike hated the fucking opening. I kind of liked it. Had a vitamin kind of vibe going on. And then it got into the juiciest smell. And then that night, I went to a Dollar General or something. I can't remember. And it was just on my hand. And somebody was like, somebody smells good in here.
Yeah.
It's fucking loud. It's one of the loudest fragrances I've ever owned. And I used every drop of it. We
had that happen to us. We both went to our local grocery store and we walked in and immediately somebody complimented you on it.
It gets compliments, at least on me. I don't know if it just interacts with my skin.
I swear pretty much anytime he wears it with me, I witness the compliment and I'm like, you son of a bitch. Every time. I got mine open, so I guess I'm going to be doing the honors first then. Here we go.
Go ahead.
I don't even have to put anything up to my nose. In the air, loud red tobacco.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm getting as much of that harshness on the top, and it may be because I haven't put anything close to my nose yet.
Definitely not. It's missing that part for sure. Doesn't have that vitamin opening. It's almost like it's kind of there to that dry down of the original pretty quickly, right?
No, on the skin. There it is.
I've missed you.
We've got to do an episode on Triumph of Bacchus by Argos.
We got to. It's funny enough, somebody that listens to the show that also has a channel made a little hate video on Argos just recently.
Really?
Yeah, but I feel like they did hype up Triumph of Bacchus. For me, that one's incredible.
I've smelled a couple by Argos that I'm pretty impressed by.
I will say out the gate, I do get this is not as loud, but I will say this is much smoother for sure.
Yeah, I'd give it that.
It's not harsh, way more pleasant for the average Joe out there. Mm-hmm. That one is, doesn't like all that super loud shit.
So let's just pretend they haven't smelled red tobacco at all. What are you smelling?
It's the hardest thing to describe for some reason right now, but maybe it's because you put me on the spot. I don't know.
Well, immediately, the thing that we know most about the opening to red tobacco and now what I'm kind of smelling on the skin here, Ryan compares it to like when you open up like a bottle of vitamins.
Yes, definitely has that but
kind of dry, bitter sort of smell.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely not as harsh as the original.
Right. This still has the sweetness of what you'd imagine like a honey tobacco coming through. So it has that vitamin kind of taste going on. Plus it's got like the sweet honey tobacco type smell.
It's like, I love this, but I hate that they named it Intense now. It's not intense to me.
Oh God.
Does it feel like it's a lot quieter?
It's almost, yeah, that's the thing that we really need to kind of get over in the fragrance community. Maybe they should have called it a parfum or something like that, or an extrait instead of calling it intense, which I think people exchange for, like they'll make like if they had an EDT, they'll make a parfum or a whatever, and they'll call it intense.
Yeah.
But then because you increase the fragrance oils in the mixture, it ends up being less intense. So I know it's more intense as far as the volume of flavor ingredients, but I mean, ultimately the scent profile isn't as intense.
It definitely isn't. And they just need to stop saying things intense, because I'm an idiot. I'm going to equate this as you saying it's going to be louder, bolder. If you thought it was fucking nuts before, get ready.
This is like helicopter controls on a video game. Like when you pull it to the left, it goes right. And when you pull it to the right, it goes left. That's exactly how this goes with like intense. Yeah. You should know, though. You should know when you pull the joystick one way that you're headed in the opposite direction.
I am somewhat disappointed. I feel like this is more for you.
Well, yeah, probably so. I don't think you're allowed to be, though, because you know how it goes with this sort of thing.
Yeah, that's true, too. And we got enough of this. Again, thank you, Michael. Lovely Patreon to send us this.
10 mil. That's
I'm going to rock the shit out of this for the next week and just see what kind of happens with it. But I'm not disappointed in the flavor profile, the scent profile.
We just had lunch.
Yeah. I'm not disappointed in the scent profile. It does smell really good. And it smells pretty much like red tobacco, but I feel like it's like to where the dry down kind of gets to a red tobacco, which is totally okay, because that's what I get a lot of compliments on. But when it starts off like that, then I feel like it's not going to be as loud and last as longer. But theoretically, it should last longer.
It'll last longer. Yeah. It'll just be closer to your skin. Honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing for red tobacco, because in my opinion, it's too loud. It's just overwhelming.
It's over the top, I will have to admit, but I love that. I can't not love it.
I think for a lot of listeners, maybe you guys don't have close friends or family members like I do. I'm not going to say they don't have close friends or family members. I'm saying they don't have close friends or family members that overwear fragrances like I do.
Yeah.
Because I have Ryan and I have a couple other friends that also just wear way too much fragrance. And until you experience that, you don't really know how overwhelming your fragrance is at times. But luckily, being around you, Ryan, I've learned you can have too much of a good thing on.
Oh, yeah, you can.
To where it is just.
But did you remember it? Did you remember that day?
Yeah, but I wasn't like,
God, I do remember the times when I would spray it fresh and get in the car. You'd be kind of pissed off.
Oh, dude. I'd be like, what the fuck? Hey, can you spray it 30 minutes before you get in the vehicle?
This is honestly way more smoother. I will say that. And there was a comment, you didn't read it, but there was a comment somebody said, I think he said he read it from St. It's one of the top comments on there. But when I say top, like the newest one.
Yeah.
But they were saying it's more of something closer to Carlisle. Do you feel like that?
I could see that.
A little bit smoother.
Yeah, smoother for sure. Less of that kind of dramatic, abrasive opening.
Yeah.
You know, it smells like it's done better. And I would agree that this is headed in the same direction as well. Yeah, I would say this is closer to Carlisle.
Price? $220 something for whatever 4.2
Yeah, 125 mil or something like that.
Which isn't too bad for a niche fragrance and that amount of juice.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can find it cheaper though. You can go in like whatever,
Of course,
like 80 something bucks somewhere, $100. Just look around.
That's the only way to buy this, in my opinion.
I agree. I definitely agree. Trend, y'all know the deal. Fragrantica killed that bit. But if I were a guessing man,
Yeah. Say it's dead as a doornail right now.
I bet it's dead as a doornail.
Yeah.
Because I think people that really do love red tobacco, they are a fan of the harsh opening. They're a fan of how loud it can be.
Well, not only that, but you probably wait until, close to Thanksgiving before you're wearing this thing.
For sure. But I will say, God, look, fuck it. We're going right into the who's wearing it really quick.
Okay.
I know exactly who's wearing this.
Are you looking in a mirror?
Todd, cue the dream music. They may or may not have their shit together. Okay, kill the music, Todd. They may or may not have their shit together.
Yeah. More likely they don't have their shit together if I know where this is headed.
They're sort of introverted.
Uh-huh.
And they don't really get out much, but come Thanksgiving or Christmas time, they're always with their family.
Yeah.
And they're going to be dressed up for the one time in their entire, each year they only have like one day they get dressed up for.
Right.
This is that day. And they come in, kicking the fucking door in, ready to see all their grandmas and grandpas and cousins. Everybody's greeting them. Everybody just loves you because you're family.
Mm-hmm.
They think you're still successful because you smell successful.
They don't mind if you're ugly.
You're dressed sharp.
Uh-huh.
And you're just having a good time, man. And this fragrance just, oh, God. It's just so smooth. And everybody gives you a hug. They go, ooh, you smell good. What is that?
Uh-huh. But they don't hug you too long because they don't want to pass out.
I would say they're probably between the ages of 30 and 55, somewhere around there.
Yeah, definitely somewhere in the middle.
It's a pretty good fragrance. I mean, I just can't totally hate it because I love the DNA of red tobacco.
Yeah.
It's so good. In fact, I think you and Steve got me to smell Carlisle, or at least you did.
Yeah, we did an episode on it.
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
Did we ever post that?
Yeah.
We did?
Mm-hmm.
Main or Patreon?
Main.
Okay. So yeah, we did Carlisle, and I feel like I liked it, but I don't know. I feel like the original red tobacco is better than that. I really do. To me.
You like kind of that bitterness in the opening.
I do. And there's a little bit here, but just not as much. But it's just, to me, it's just a more dialed down version of the original red tobacco.
Yeah.
And for that, because it's intense, I'm out.
Well, I thought about you the other day because I was talking about how I prefer Coke Zero over Diet Coke.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know why people pick Diet Coke because it has that twang to it.
Yeah.
But some people, they've grown to like that about it. Kind of like me with the bitterness and dark chocolate. You're like, no, hell no.
I can't do it.
And I'm like, give me it all. So I feel like that's where you've gotten to with the opening of red tobacco. You've kind of have Stockholm syndrome to the ugliness of it as much as you do the sweet side.
I fucking love it. I can't not love it. This one's good too. Don't get this twisted, guys.
Yeah.
I do have to say, if you're a big red tobacco fan,
right.
Well, you know what? I'm going to just stop. Let's stop this for a second. You need to talk a little bit more.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think we can go ahead and get into skip it, sample it, buy it. Skip it,
sample it,
buy it.
What are you going to do, Mike?
For me, this is a hard sample because I actually like this more. For all the reasons that you're less attracted to this fragrance, I'm more attracted to it than the original red tobacco. So I appreciate and enjoy this more than the original red tobacco. But I have a feeling you're about to list the ways that you miss the original compared to the intense.
Yeah, this one is a sample, and I will sample the fuck out of this since Michael J was so kind to send us both 5 mil.
Yeah.
But after I sample this, I don't think I would buy it.
Wow.
I just don't even think I'd look at, if I had my options, and at this point, they'd probably both be the same price.
Yeah.
in the $80 range. I'm getting the original red tobacco because it's so unapologetic and doesn't give a fuck. This one is definitely does smell good. Don't get this twisted, guys.
Yeah.
This is probably for the people that are like Mike.
Yeah, I tend to lean. Actually, I was talking to Dan, the fragrance weirdo, today about Crystal Saffron, the egg straight. And I asked him what he thought about it compared to the original. And he said that he had only sampled the original in store, but he bought this egg straight and he really likes it. But he feels like this is longer lasting, but closer to the skin and maybe a little less projection. And to me, I want fragrances like that. I would rather have fragrances where people come in, they give you a hug and they go, God, you smell good. But I don't just want to be in a room and everybody's like choking out. I more enjoy when people get close and appreciate it. I don't really want the like somebody's 10 feet away from me going like, somebody smells, you know.
Yeah, this is for the people like Mike. If you want something that does smell good and you don't want it to be super loud and you kind of did like red tobacco, but you just thought it was too much.
I feel like this is still loud though. As a fragrance, This is a loud fragrance. Yes.
I'm going to disagree with him on that. I don't think that at all.
Wow. I think you're just comparing this to the original and saying it's not as loud, but just as the fragrance is, it is a loud fragrance. I feel like it is.
Man, I disagree with that very, very harshly.
Yeah, it's got that dry, sweet tobacco smell. It's good.
It does good what it's supposed to be doing. It's doing the right things. It's just I prefer it to be louder. So if I'd never smelled the original red tobacco, I'd probably be loving this right now.
I bet that somewhere in Mancera land, they got it closer to Carlisle. They were, mixing up stuff in the kitchen, just screwing around. They're like, oh, we got it closer, so we'll re-release it. And the people who want it to, if they want just a straight up cheaper version of Carlisle, I think they have it in this one. If you're looking for that, you're looking to spend less, but still it's more favorable than the original red tobacco, whom most everybody would agree, those first 15 minutes aren't for chumps.
It is not. It's not. But I got a question for you real quick.
Okay.
Let's play marketing gurus for a second, okay?
All right.
If you worked at any fragrance house right now,
yeah,
what verbiage would you use differently to illustrate that a fragrance is definitely, if you like the original one, this one actually packs a fucking louder punch?
I would use the word intense. If I was in the company, I would come up with a different name for things that have higher concentration.
Gotcha.
But aren't necessarily more intense. I love the way Homage does it because Reflection 45 has more of the, raw materials or fragrance aroma chemicals or whatever.
Yeah.
It has like 45% of that, 45% oil. So they just call it Reflection 45.
Yeah.
And it smells a little bit different than Reflection Man because of that. So to me, I feel like that's a great way of marketing it. Or if this was, red tobacco, but they didn't want to call it intense, you'd have to find a different name for like something that explained that it was smoother.
Yeah. Would be a good word for smooth.
Yeah. What are we going to call this?
Hey, what are we going to rename this so we can send it to Mancera and everybody else so they can rename their products to appease us? All right, guys. It's a skip to a sample for me. I guess it's definitely a sample for people out there. You got to experience it.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you haven't tried red tobacco at all. I would start with this, honestly, which seems counterintuitive.
Why do I feel guilty that I don't like this when people send us stuff? I feel so guilty.
People don't want you to like it, Ryan. They just want your honesty.
Okay. Well, Michael, thank you for sending this. That was really nice of you to send us both 5 ml. I'm so sorry that I don't like it, though. It's not a bad scent. I know what the original smells like. I can't run away from that.
I think it'd be different if they made it. If they said, I've listened to, 280 episodes, and I feel like I got a good handle on what Ryan really likes. And then they go into the kitchen and they bake up something they think is Ryan.
Please don't do this, guys. Whoever's out there, do not do this.
We're not here to break hearts.
Yeah, I could not do that.
I mean, this is like a clone of a clone,
Yeah.
you know?
By the way, the tester strip smells great. It smells good. It smells great all the way around. If I never smelled the original one, I'd probably be really honey on this right now. I'd be honked up.
You know who else does a good job is Commodity.
Really?
Yeah, because they have like they have like scent spaces. So it's not like EDPs and tints. It's like, this is bold, this is personal, this is, whatever the middle ground is or whatever.
Yeah.
So, or like expressive, I think is one. So I like that type of thing and lean off that. But then again, they know that in the factory. So why are they putting intense on it?
I don't know. There's got to be a different word for it. They got to figure out a different word.
I think the more they go up, if it's like a parfum or an elixir, whatever. Well, elixir we know isn't a concentration, but the higher it up, they should call it like red tobacco intimate or something. The closer it gets to the skin.
I like that.
Rather than intense.
I like that idea.
Mancera, that's copyrighted. Cologne podcast, copyrighted.
Hey, let me tell you something we just did that's going to put Mike on the spot and we can't run from it anymore. We just made some bars of soap.
Oh, yeah. We sure have already done that.
But they got to sit for a month before we can divvy them out. Up.
But we're going to give a couple out to Patreons.
Yes, we made a Texas cedarwood soap.
Yeah, so if you want to smell like Texas...
And God knows you do.
You better be a Patreon. And just know that everything we use in the soap is all natural and we haven't used anything crazy. It's all different types of fats and oils and then your typical lye. So it's safe. We're personally trying it as we speak. So you guys are fine.
Yeah. So get ready. We're in about a month. We're going to be doing some special stuff with that. And we are much appreciative again to Michael J. for sending this. And also congrats to being a winner. Congrats to Bob. And until next time, spray it up, y'all.